Just take a look around you for a second. It's everywhere. Under your feet, in the buildings that tower over us, the stuff that literally shapes our entire world. It's concrete. It's the silent, strong backbone of our civilization. We build our
Powerful
lives on
material.
it. But what
Concrete.
if this material...
It's literally the bedrock of our civilization. But what if this everyday hero has a really dark side we're only just beginning to see?
To really get a sense of the scale we're talking about, I've got a question for you. Besides the air we breathe, what's the one thing humans consume more than anything else on the planet? The answer might actually surprise you.
Yep, it's water. Of course it is, right? We literally need it to live. But here's the part that's gonna blow your mind. What comes in at number 2?
I mean, think about it. What could possibly be second only to the very substance of life itself?
That's right, concrete. We use more concrete than any other material besides water. And that unbelievable scale is, well, it's both a testament to human ingenuity and the root of a massive global crisis.
So what's the big deal with all this concrete? Well, the problem really hits us from two different directions. First, the absolute mountains of waste we're left with when buildings come down, and second, the insane environmental damage caused by making this stuff in the first place.
To really wrap your head around this, just try to picture that. A solid wall of concrete, hundreds of miles high, circling the entire Earth. That's how much we produce and pour every single year. The scale is just staggering.
So on one hand, you've got our landfills, which are just choking on demolition debris. Old concrete that's just gonna sit there for centuries, maybe even millennia. And on the other hand, the actual process of making new concrete, it's one of the most carbon-heavy industries in the entire world.
7%. Just let that number hang in the air for a second. What on earth could that represent?
That number, 7%, is the slice of all global CO2 emissions that comes from producing just one ingredient in concrete: cement. See, to make cement, you have to bake limestone at these insane temperatures, over 2,600 degrees Fahrenheit, and that process unleashes enormous amounts of carbon dioxide straight into the atmosphere.
And to put that into perspective for you, we talk a lot about the carbon footprint of flying, right? Well, the cement industry pumps out nearly 3 times more CO2 than the entire global aviation industry combined. It's a massive hidden polluter.
And listen, this isn't some far-off distant problem. We are on a collision course, and it's happening fast. By 2030, a lot of our landfills are going to be at their absolute breaking point. And by 2050, as the world's population heads toward 10 billion people, the demand for new homes and infrastructure is going to go through the roof.
You know, if we just keep going down this same path, the annual cost to just manage construction waste is projected to hit a mind-blowing $640 billion by 2050. This isn't just an environmental issue anymore, it is an economic ticking time bomb.
Okay, but here's where the story takes a turn for the better. We are not just sitting back and watching this happen. Scientists, engineers, innovators, they're fighting back with some absolutely incredible ideas. So let's look at how we can start building a much, much smarter future. So one of the biggest game changers is creating what's called a circular economy for concrete. Basically, instead of just dumping old concrete in a landfill, we can give it a new life. We can crush it down into what's known as aggregate, which is just a fancy word for gravel and sand, and then use that to create perfectly good, strong, new concrete. This not only slashes our waste, but it also means we don't have to mine as much new sand and gravel, which, believe it or not, are resources we're actually starting to run out of.
But it gets even cooler than that. Imagine concrete that can literally heal itself. Now, this isn't science fiction, it's real. Scientists are embedding tiny, dormant bacteria into the concrete mix. So when a small crack forms, water gets in and wakes up the bacteria. They then start munching on a food source that's also in the mix. And, as a byproduct, they produce limestone, which perfectly seals the crack from the inside out. I mean, how amazing is that? It means our buildings and bridges could last so much longer. Okay, but what if we could take it a step further? What if we could turn concrete from a carbon source into a carbon sink? Well, that is the revolutionary idea behind carbon capturing concrete. Here's how it works. You actually inject captured CO2 from a factory or power plant into the wet concrete mix. As it cures, that CO2 becomes permanently mineralized. It literally turns into stone. We could lock pollution away inside our buildings, making them stronger while cleaning the air at the same time.
Now, beyond making concrete smarter, we're also rediscovering and inventing completely new ways to build that work with nature, not against it. We're talking about materials that are not only sustainable, but are also just beautiful and incredibly strong.
Let me just give you a few examples. There's something called cross-laminated timber, which is basically super-engineered wood. That's as strong as concrete, but 5 times lighter, and it stores carbon for the life of the building. Then you've got hempcrete, made from hemp and lime, which is actually carbon negative. It sucks up more CO2 than it takes to produce it. And we're even seeing a comeback of ancient techniques like rammed earth, which creates these gorgeous, super durable walls. These aren't just little niche ideas anymore. They are real, scalable alternatives.
All of this innovation is just fantastic, right? But for it to really move the needle, it needs to be adopted on a huge scale. And honestly, that's where you come in. The choices we all make, whether they feel big or small, can genuinely start to shift the entire industry. So the big question is, how can you actually be part of this change? Whether you're planning a huge renovation project or you just want to be a more informed citizen, there are clear, simple things you can do to make a real difference.
Really, it just boils down to thinking a little differently. Instead of just smashing a building down, can we deconstruct it and save the materials for reuse? Can that old patio be crushed up right there on site to create a new garden path instead of being hauled to a landfill? You can even make an impact by just being smart about ordering materials so there's less waste. But probably the most important thing, talk to your contractors. Ask them about using recycled concrete. Ask about sustainable alternatives. When you ask those questions, you're sending a powerful message to the industry about what you, the customer, actually value.
And at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. The legacy of concrete doesn't have to be a crisis. It can be a testament to our incredible ability to innovate, to adapt, and to build a future where our cities aren't a burden on the planet, but are actually part of a regenerative ecosystem. The foundation for that new world is being laid right now. The only question left is, what will we choose to build on it?